England, France, Spain, or the Netherlands will be crowned Euro 2024 champions in just 5 days. But before that, Spain will take on France, England will face Netherlands. Semi-finals are here. How this tournament has flown by is beyond me, but we're here to predict the semi-finals. Don't know how it's going to go, but we'll give it a try anyway. And if you're new to this channel, you will be confused, probably, because it's Nina's Chelsea Corner, but today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. And for those of you who have been subscribed for a long time, welcome back. Something a bit different. If you enjoy the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But let's kick straight into the predictions. Spain vs France, Tuesday night. Now, this is going to be entertaining. I mean, it could be a final. I guess you could say at this point both games could be a final, but it will be interesting because Spain have scored 11 goals. France have only scored 3. 2 of which have been own goals and 1 which has been a penalty. So still yet to score from open play, whereas Spain, for them, it's not been a problem. Scoring goals has not come difficult for them. They've had a bunch of different scorers as well. Alvaro Morata hasn't even really turned up. He hasn't even needed to, because there's been plenty of goal scorers in this team. So many young players that are willing to just leave everything on the pitch, can play a full 90, as it looks like, at 16 years old, and they are so exciting to watch. Meanwhile, France, in many ways, and I'm an England fan, so I can say this, have been quite boring to watch in terms of not explosive, not playing attacking forwards football, don't really look like they are justifying the incredible talent and depth in their squad that they have, which is just so, I guess, dull for a football fan. But in the words of Didier Deschamps, he's not really bothered. If he's winning, then it's working. And ultimately, even as an England fan, I'm sitting here asking myself, if we go all the way and win this tournament, will we look back and complain that the fixtures were boring? Probably not. But the point is that even with England, we have so much attack and so much excitement. You know, all these players that we watch in the Premier League, obviously Bellingham in La Liga, balling out. We just want to see them come together and produce wonders. You know, Southgate called up so many exciting players and we're yet to see a lot of them play. But anyways, let's talk about, I've gone off on a tangent talking about England, but obviously Spain versus France is the first fixture. So yeah, I think France are going to, again, set up to defend. And obviously defending, yeah, I guess could trouble Spain. But the thing with Spain is they can break down defenses. They do have runners in behind. They have enough creative outlet to break a defense down. I do, however, don't think it's going to be, that made no sense. I don't, however, think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think France will make it difficult for them. But again, I will potentially be backing Spain to get through on this one. It could be a case it goes into extra time, but obviously Spain, having said that, will be missing Dani Carvajal, who is suspended, would have been suspended anyway without the red card, but he did take one for the team. At his age and at his level of experience, he knows that these fouls are sometimes necessary. He knew what was at stake. Well, not much was anyway, he was already missing this game, but he decided to, yeah, go ahead with it anyway. So he'll be out, which potentially could cause a bit of an imbalance with how Spain have taken momentum recently. You know, they've got that great balance of Marc Cucurella with Nico Williams on the left flank, and then equally Carvajal supporting youngster Lamine Yamal on the right. And they're very good at supporting, doing the overlaps, doing the underlaps, and it's what has really worked for Spain. So it'll be interesting to see how De La Fuente adapts to that change, and what happens there. But, you know, they've got players that can hurt you. You know, as already mentioned, Yamal, Williams have been so exciting to watch, playing and dribbling with intent. Every decision and everything they do down the flanks is to lead to a cross, lead to a shot. They're not afraid to take it upon themselves to take a shot from outside the box. And we saw with Williams, that beautiful goal that he scored, it worked out. Yamal's equally been unlucky to find the back of the net, but again, he's 16. I'm not going to have too much criticism here. So both have been just phenomenal to watch. And yeah, obviously likes of Dani Olmo, who has also been such a clutch player. Rodri, unbelievable ranges of passes. Who else? great defenses as well. So I do think that Spain have what it takes to break down a defensive France side. And with France, they're probably just going to be doing what they've pretty much set out to do all tournament: defend and hope that Kylian Mbappe produces a moment of individual brilliance to get them over the line. Now, it's no secret to anyone that Mbappe has not been the Mbappe we all know, the one that scores hat tricks in finals. But you know, well, I mean, if he does get to play a final and he scores a hat trick again, then fair play to him. But at the moment, is it the mask? Is it the nose? Is it something else? It's not really clicked in well. And often in the final third, France don't really do much. So impotent. But if they get through, I think a lot of fans might be frustrated because from a pure footballing fan, wanting to watch creative, attacking, exciting football, Spain do that for you. France, not so much, but they know and they do have the know-how to get through to a final, to a semi-final, etc. So I'm going to say 1-1, and then in extra time, Spain to win it. Could potentially go through to penalties, which is where France probably do have they already have gone through a penalty shootout. So potentially, I'm still going to go for Spain. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, but I think Spain make it to the final. And then the game I am nervous about, England versus Netherlands. Now, England versus Switzerland was a tough watch, I can't lie to you. Obviously, in hindsight, it's great. The emotions after the penalty shootout, ecstatic, magnificent, all of that. However, we've not been playing in a sustainable way where we've convincingly won our games, gotten through to each stage. It's almost felt like we've been hanging on a thread. I mean, you can stretch back to the Slovakia game. Jude Bellingham saves us, storyline, the headline, it's great. But we go through and we continue to struggle, right? It's not been easy. And obviously, I value my health, my age, my hair. I don't want to be old and grey by the end of this tournament. But England have been stressful. And Gareth Southgate has added to a lot of that stress, I'm not going to lie. We all know that he has been at times making the wrong decisions. Us fans have been calling for things. But if he gets to a final and we go all the way and win it, will we look back and complain about the decisions, about the boring football, about all the tough moments we've had? Probably not. However, because we have the wealth of talent we do, because we have the players we do, us fans have just really been excited to see it all click together, to play attacking football, to be direct, to take risks and all of that, and we just simply really have not. Netherlands, on the other hand, have grown into this tournament. You know, they were a bit underwhelming in the group stages. It didn't quite go their way. Obviously, Austria topped that group and it was shocking, I mean, surprising. And the other events that unfolded meant that Netherlands didn't perhaps have the greatest start. But they've ended up, they could argue, on the better side of the draw, and now they have a chance equally to get to a final. And I am not underestimating this Netherlands side at all. They've got a really solid defence, and they have now shown that they can score goals. They've really found their feet. There's certain players like your Cody Gakpo's, you know, Xavi Simons and Depay who can hurt you if you give them opportunity to. So we're going to have to be top of our game defensively, but also be able to capitalise on the moments where we will gain possession and make things happen in as few passes as possible, right? I want to see us a bit more direct, a bit more brave moving forwards because we genuinely have the quality. Now, I think Southgate left changes too late against Switzerland and it really added to the pressure of the game. Obviously, now in hindsight, nobody's really saying much about the changes because ultimately the changes and a lot of the subs, I mean, you know, you had Tony and Trent coming on and being vital and crucial in that penalty shootout. But, you know, I'm talking in the early stages of the game where Saka would do a great job of getting the ball all up until the end, you know, beat his man, do all the hard work, and then cross it into nobody, into a red shirt, because no one was really moving or getting in front of the ball and trying really to get onto the end of any of Saka's passes. So he potentially could have had a few assists as well in that game, but he didn't. So I want to see a lot more happening. I want to see Kane in the box. I don't want to see him sat so deep. Kane doing what Kane does best, just getting on the end of those those passes and just finishing them as good as he can. I think it's going to be so important to score first against Netherlands, but something inside of me is telling me it's not going to be quite the case. Maybe it's a case that we grow into the game and it's tough, but I think we won't really see Luke Shaw start Or maybe we will. I guess that's the $1 million question. But it's risky, isn't it? Because he has not played in a while. Obviously, he did, get a few minutes. But is it risky? Is it not? I mean, the ideal selfish fan in me wants him to be fit and starting, because I think that's a great balance he adds into the side. And again, with the forwards, the forwards that Netherlands have, they will be looking to expose our defence massively. And again, Netherlands are missing, stars like, Frankie de Jong, who I think they could have done with in this tournament, but they're showing that they can equally really trouble their opponent, as they did. Obviously, Romania scored 3 past them, then beat Turkey. Yeah, Turkey could have equalised, but I think they held out very well. And that's something that we've shown we struggle to do, right, as a team, hold out. And it almost seems that we shouldn't be relying on just holding out and making it through. But that is kind of what it's leaned like. Now, in a similar fashion, I don't think this is a high scoring game. Like I said, I think Netherlands score first and we equalise. And I'm going to put, who's going to score for England? I need to have a think about this. I don't think it will be a goal scorer we've had so far, or it could be. Interesting. But, there's a lot of questions surrounding the starting lineup, and I think Southgate has shown that he does trust his starting 11 and he does not want to make too many changes. And he has shown that regardless of the youngsters that he's brought, he's not really willing to start them. And again, he's not really started a lot of these youngsters up until now. I don't think he changes that. Bar Kobbie Mainoo, who now has obviously received well-deserved starts and has been really heavily involved in these games, has looked so comfortable, cool as a cucumber. Fair play, props to Mainoo for really taking it upon himself to try and make things happen. A lot of players can learn from that. But again, you look at the likes of Harry Kane and Phil Foden, who we do expect so much more from. And I mean, it wouldn't really surprise me if Phil Foden actually scored against Netherlands, because it just would be so England, right? And then again, can you really look back and say that he has a poor tournament if ultimately his goal ends up being the most important one in a semi-final and it means it helps us get through? I'm not too sure. But again, I think Phil Foden, perhaps an unpopular opinion, I don't think he was bad against Serbia. I think, he then kind of went on and struggled a little bit, but with more freedom, he was taking on shots. And I understand that fans have been frustrated with him. I do get he's had some underwhelming displays as well. However, I don't think that how shall I say this? I don't think he deserves as much criticism as he has received. I think collectively we must and should have been a lot better. And it is very easy when you look forward, when you receive the ball, collect it, and you see that there are no bodies forward. What do? You recycle the attack, you go again. So again, it's been flat. As a whole, the team just needs to step up massively. But I'm an England fan. I'm not going to sit here and say Netherlands are going to knock us out. Maybe I'm delusional for that, but I truly back England to do something in extra time. And I know at some point luck is no longer on your side and you really have to show quality. But I just think it's the semi-finals. Teams are going to be a bit more reserved, perhaps not take as many risks, right? Right? I hope so. And maybe we get the job done. Do England make it to a final? Maybe lessons will be learned when we get into that final, even though that would be pretty tough, right? However, I will back England on this one. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm a hopeless believer. But yeah, guys, now to obviously address you Chelsea fans who watch my channel regularly. At times, watching England, I felt like watching Chelsea, just frustrated that almost do something. We've got talent, we've got this, we've got that. And speaking of Chelsea, I hope Cole Palmer gets some more minutes. He obviously won't start because, ultimately he has to start him in Saka's place. That's the point he has kind of made, and obviously that's not going to happen. And I agree that Saka absolutely deserves to be starting in this game. But, Palmer deserves minutes. He deserves to come off the bench. He does liven things up. He makes things happen. He's a forward-thinking player. He's brave. He's shown this, that he's not afraid to take responsibility. Yeah, okay, your pass will be intercepted. But, the other 8 out of 10 times, you're going to make the pass. You're going to make the cross. Someone's going to get on the end of it. So, yeah, I think our subs can be crucial. And we have seen, actually, that, when subs have come on, they've really livened up the game. It's just a case of Southgate, you have to leave it so late to do that. But ultimately, I don't think much changes. It will be interesting to see if Luke Shaw starts, doesn't, what he does. But yeah, there are players, obviously like Jude Bellingham in this team, who can make a difference, right? But I just want to see us play some exciting football. And if it means that we do go out to Netherlands, I hope that we actually go out having given them a game, having done what us England's fans have just so longed to see on the pitch this tournament. But guys, those are my predictions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Obviously, if you're not subscribed and you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and is it coming home? Hope so. I really, really hope so.